Boom! We're off with another episode of Who's Your Daddy, the podcast.
This golf club thing. I can really do the Johnny Carson and finish high.
I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Skittles and Beer, Zach Elias. What's up, Zach?
I have a serious question for you to open up. Can you hear Jimmy?
I mean, I listen to Jimmy.
You don't hear Jimmy. Oh, you can't just have Jimmy right there because they can not expect you not to go there.
Boo's Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Whatever platform you're watching this, listen to this on, make sure hitting the like button, leave a comment. We appreciate the support, especially because we have fan appreciation, not to mention the polls that we do.
That's when we appreciate our one fan. Do we get to poll our one fan too?
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's all there.
Rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. Before we get into today's episode, which is going to be episode 102, we're calling this a spicy weekend.
Our fans could use a good polling. I know I could.
Jesus, Zach.
I did. Weekend. Go on.
You went right through the Skittles and Beer. Just a random question because I saw this online. Did you go through your kids' candy?
I mean, what do you want to hear?
You know that's a thing, right?
Well, she doesn't.
Wait, no. Going through looking for, like, when she brought home her Halloween stuff, looking for, like, a razor blade in a taffy bar.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna definitely eat that. No, do I audit her candy? No, I go through it to find the stuff that looks good that I can eat. Like I partition out, like in the Goonies. That's One-Eyed Willie's gold. That's for me. I get the good stuff. The like weird stuff from the 80s. Like if there's a whatchamacallit bar or like a Take 5, yeah, that's all me. She doesn't know any better. So
Fifth Avenue? Oh, baby.
Oh my God, that'll get you there. A Payday? Underrated. No chocolate needed. Payday.
It's in my teeth a little too long.
A pansy you are. Anyway, no, I don't go through for like razor blades and cocaine and other stuff that like is good.
Cocaine would be the most expensive Halloween giveaway, considering people complain about like regular size bars. Not that the little ones are cheap.
The celebrity, not naming names, that Zoe went to their house for a party, king size candy bars. You know,
as he has to. As he has to.
I mean, it's a tad gauche king size, but still
stunk on SNL this week. Stunk. Stunk.
That's the whole episode stunk. Although I found Kieran to be charming.
What are you drinking, buddy?
I've got back to my Anchor California Lager. Although what bothers me, we had friends over recently. They brought a 6-pack of Allagash White, which is fine. But I think that it was warm-ish by the time I got back. They drank my beer and put theirs into my fridge. That's just bring cold beer. When you go to a place, bring cold beer so you don't have to be the old switcheroo. But it bothers me. Pet peeve of mine. But what are you drinking there? Frozen? Oriana, 100 grand for the win. Those are good. Have a little crinkle and crunch. What are you drinking? Oh my God. It's time that somebody invests in internet. You moved from... I thought New Jersey had good internet. Isn't that the whole thing of New Jersey? Good internet and mafioso? Here we go. All right. Well, while I'm waiting, I'm just going to crack mine. I'm developing a thirst here. Oh, are you back? I don't know. Frozen daiquiris. Yeah, that should be the name of the show. Frozen Zacharies. Could be that. I could actually have my own drink.
So we had internet down the whole like country today. As far as I woke up with zero ways of communicating with anybody or anything.
I was on a Zoom call. My internet died earlier today, so these things happen. But that was for like 10 minutes.
What I was going to say before is we have a friend in our friend group who he brings Bud Light. So appreciate you got the Allagash White. He brings Bud Light and then takes whatever he wants from the fridge. I won't name him, but people know who he is.
It's pretty good, you know.
What am I drinking? Established in 1997, RJ Rocker's Brewing Company, unfiltered fruit wheat ale. It is Son of a Peach. Peach.
Is that RJ? That's not John Rocker, is it?
Has to be related.
Yeah, he is a son of a peach. He played for the Braves. All the pieces are there. God, I hated him. What
He's no Feliciano.
Deceased.
Release the Kraken. There we go, baby. Cheers, L'chaim.
He had a couple good years, Feliciano, too. Not a bad pitcher.
All right, Zach. I've been dominating the airwaves to the point that
the ego on you.
I freeze, and you're like, oh, how was my weekend? So I told you today, buddy, you're batting leadoff. I got a spicy story, multiple. Go ahead, start it off.
I haven't had multiples in years. I don't know if this is a spicy story, but I never really crossed my mind when kids start to like play with language or learn like naughty words. So my wife gets a text from one of the other parents in the class who we're friendly with, and said that that her daughter used what they're calling the PU word
What's
in
the P
school.
word?
I don't know what the P word is, but the PU word is pussy. So her daughter said pussy, and then when she asked where she heard that, she said Zoe, my daughter. So immediately the fingers got pointed at me.
Context?
That I didn't get.
You do have a cat.
We do have a cat. It's right here. And
And do
so,
you have any Pussy Willows in your apartment?
tons everywhere? I don't even know what it looks like. But so I didn't get context as the two of them are just blasting me, blaming me for this thing. It turns out that it was another kid in the class who taught it to the both of them. So it's trickling down. So I've been vindicated. And by the way, they use it truly as a noun, whereas I only use it as an adjective. But yeah, exactly.
I use it more as a noun.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, you use it. That guy's a. It's an adjective. It's
That's a
describing,
noun.
No, it's
That's
describing what he's being, how he's being, his oeuvre. As opposed to like the actual. That's horrible as a
So did you sit her down and say like,
no,
what
we
are the
said
words? I want to know her.
her 7 dirty words. I don't
Her
want to know more than she's already dropped an F-bomb at school, told my mom that's BS, and now is dropping the PU word in successive weeks. I'm
Is
terrified.
BS not okay?
I mean, not if you go expand it, but once you tell your grandmother, Grammy, that's BS. Well, she was right.
What context?
She was right because my mom was bullshitting her. But that said, I mean, she's starting to work blue, like Mrs. Maisel here. She's 7 and little.
But at what point do you sit her down and you say to her, Zoe, I want to know all the dirty words you think you know or that you say, and then you can quickly say like, these are okay, these are not. I bet you.
So I just sit her down. Let's talk tachas. It's not. I don't know. I don't want to hear more of her words. But like, I guess kids start. I started cursing when I was 7. We all do it. You've been playing with it.
We
Usually
played Cards Against Humanity with my niece and nephew when they were 10 and 8. They knew all the words. All
of course they did. She knows it. She knows all kinds of stuff. So it's. But then she goes, "I know it's a bad word unless I put cat afterwards." So like,
it's already
she's
learning.
Getting frisky with it. But yeah, it was always surprising to hear your little girl dropping curses. Though it's, it's going to happen, but you don't think they're ever going to start saying them, and they do. And that's not in any of the books that I read.
Or at least know what they are.
Yeah, she certainly knows. She was sheepish, and she goes, "It's another word for vagina."
I like it. She's correct.
She is correct. So
it's one of those things where my dad always let us curse, and we watch movie with cursing, and I think that's good for a kid. You just have to let them know there's a time and a place.
Yeah, just don't do it at me, or else you're going to hear some real words. I'm going to bring a knife to a gunfight. Let's go. But yeah, that was. It's always surprising when you get a text from parents down the chain of, our kids are all cursing these days and trying to play. I don't know why I always get blamed.
It could be worse, Zach.
It will be worse.
I picked up my buddy the other day. We were going down for this fraternity trip to Philly I told you about, and I stop in to say hi to like his wife. He has 2 daughters, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. And the 8-year-old was very shy, and I introduced myself like I've never met her. The wife goes, "You've met her before." I'm like, "I know. I'm trying to do a bit here, like trying to get her, So I said, "Did you guys have Halloween? How was the candy? What was your favorite?" The 8-year-old says, "I don't know, Snickers or something." I turn to the 4-year-old. She goes, "Motrin?" And I said, "Mochi? Like the mochi ball?" She goes, "No, Motrin." And I turned to the mom. She goes, "She looks taking medicine, this one." I was like,
wow.
I was trying to play it off like, "Oh, mochi balls. Yeah, those are great."
Yeah, nothing like Motrin for Halloween. Right up there.
A 4-year-old. I was like, They go, sometimes she fakes having a fever and just to be like, "Oh, I'm really hot. I need some Motrin." I mean, Advil has a little candy shell, but this was just one of those.
Motrin is nothing. It's just raw dog.
I've never heard a kid say anything like, "I want to take medicine."
At least she didn't say Nuprin. Little, yellow, different.
This one will be on fentanyl before her 18th birthday.
Oh, yeah. Got Oxycontin. Forget about it.
You're watching Dope Sick?
No, I've got a million things I got to watch on my thing, but I will watch your Dope Sick.
Trust me. This is one of those I'm telling people, move it to the list. Like, it's appointment television. It is one of those. It comes out on Tuesdays.
How many episodes are there?
8, and I think only 6 are out right now.
Let me know when all 8 are out, and I'll bang it out. I don't like to watch things in
Michael Keaton, Rosario Dawson.
I know who's it. Keaton can do no wrong. He is Batman.
I'm Batman.
Exactly. And he was great in Beetlejuice, which is in my top 5. Love Beetlejuice.
Do you know they were supposed to make a second one?
Thank God they didn't. They ruined it. Fantastic
No,
movie.
he got what was the movie about the Pope's stupping kids? It won an Academy Award or something.
Oh, like Moonlight or
the one after that. It was
like
Newsroom, Press Room, one of Blacklight. He was in that.
Blacklight, yeah, that's exactly.
That's what they use afterwards.
Absolutely. Yeah, you clean up.
Yeah, so he got that, and then apparently Beetlejuice 2 was shot. So
you never want to blacklight a church.
So episode 102, Spicy Weekend. I got to recap some things. I've been trying to put together a coherent story. I'm just going to go with the highlights, and you take it how it was. So we did a fraternity reunion thing down in Philly. It's a nice little halfway point for people from Maryland, from New York. It was let's meet at Top Golf, and then we're going to go to a club where we have a VIP section, open bar. It's $80 or something. It's called Risque. Okay. And now, as we've talked with, your boy Eric, I've never been to a gentleman's club that is a sit-down dinner, but they do exist where you get like a steak dinner type of deal, right?
I hate it. I went to the Penthouse Club for a friend of mine's bachelor party. Supposedly the steak was great. It wasn't. And they got a girl like crawling all over you, essentially wanting to give you a dance and asking you for money.
She wants your meat.
Yeah, maybe, but really she wants my green. I said to her, I honestly said, listen, I'm trying to do this here. I'm eating dinner. Could you just come back later? Like,
how did she take that?
I don't care. I just started cutting. I just let her on to the next man up. I'm eating here. Well, and then, by the way, after you put a steak back and potatoes and beer, you don't want a lap dance. You feel gross. Who just want to go home and like take a bath and die.
So we are going to this Club Risque, and we were supposed to have dinner there. I had hopes it was going to be some type of club, a nice atmosphere. It was a
sushi on the naked girl.
Zach, it was a whorehouse. It was a bottom of the barrel Philadelphia, right under I-95 strip club, where they had a sign outside that was like $3. You call it, shots or whatever. I was like, oh my god, this is not going to be great. And they put some food down, which was nice. I mean, we got there at 7, so the place was completely empty. Thank God for the UFC, especially with one of the better cards that have existed. So I was all in for the prelims on that. The food.
That's what got you hard, is the UFC card?
Oh my God, I'll show you some of these knockouts. That got me there. That really got me there. But at this club, they put these food down, and there was some pasta, there were some wings. I grabbed a wing, great. I took one bite into it, and spice level. I'm a middle of the road guy. I'm not gonna pretend I'm Mr. like hot challenge this, but I don't want anything completely bland. I took a bite and was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know if I can finish this. And I'm sitting there talking to one of my buddies, Steve, and he goes, I want to try it. And he spice shames me, which I'm making up, and eats it and goes, I don't find it hot, but I could see how you do. Like, go fuck yourself.
That's like saying to someone like, oh, that thing you just bought, oh, that's really nice for you. With the hand, you got to do it. It's a dagger. It's a Jewish dagger. It's a Jewish mother knockout punch. Oh,
when did spice become something that all of a sudden it's like, I have the biggest dick? Watch this.
Yeah, you put it on the table. I'm sure it's impressive. But I've got a problem fundamentally with spicy wings at a strip club anyway. Because if you eat a few of those things and things progress to the Chardonnay room, you're going to destroy that girl with the things on your hands. It's going to be the worst night of her life, or at least top 5 that week. I mean,
I think she's already burning, baby. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe.
The roof's on fire.
Yeah, but now you got the garage on fire too. It's not good, and I feel bad. I feel bad for strippers in general. I don't love the whole. I don't know. It just seems like a job. I don't feel bad for them. They make plenty of money and they're voluntarily doing it. It just doesn't seem like a job that I would want if I were a girl.
You would do it if you could get it, my friend. If there was anything like they're out there for.
No, I wouldn't want to have to like feign conversation with them. They're all there for the same reason. It's just a horrible gig. Terrible hours. I wouldn't want anything to do with it. They do. It's terrible hours.
Well, the idea is they go in, they make money. So this place was a legit titty bar. Nothing special about it. We have this back room, and I knew I was in trouble when I went to the back bar, and I'm looking, and they don't have a whole lot of choices there. And I said, can you make me an old fashioned? Figure we pay for it. And the lady looks at me and she goes, absolutely. She takes some Makers, she takes one ice cube, and then takes the cherries, like the juice, pours a little bit of that in there, puts an orange, and goes, here you go. I went, oh.
That's essentially a Shirley Temple. It's a little boozy.
That's what it was. I looked at her, I was like, could you at least throw some bitters in there? She goes, we don't have bitters. And I was the idiot for asking for bitters.
Besides, you lick her hand and go, "That's your bitters."
No, this one behind the bar, she was a real ball buster. But
crack open a tab. There you go.
Here's a fun one. You could smoke in the place.
That's
Cigarettes,
that's
you
old
could smoke
school.
cigars. And they were selling these expensive. I'm not a cigarette guy. They were selling all of them. And just my
You
friends are
didn't
just.
have a pack of Cools.
Somebody came up to me and one of my friends, and they're doing the like, hey, I hate to ask, but I didn't know if you smoked. I looked at the kid and I said, I don't smoke, but there's a 7-Eleven 2 minutes walk from here because we passed it on the way there. And
they didn't have one of those things where you pull the thing and the cigarettes come like from the 80s.
Do you remember those where you had to put in $2.75 in quarters?
And you pull the knob and it fires out. Here's your Virginia Slims. Get out of here, lady.
Yeah, man. It was one of those like nights
That's
where
old school.
It was fine.
The best strip clubs. Now I'm not a strip club guy at all. I don't love high end. If I'm gonna go to one, I want to get weird with it. I want to go to one that's like in a barn in a hobo town somewhere or under I-95. I want it to be dirty. I want it to be weird. I want to walk in and go. That's how you know you're in the great place.
Do you know how I knew it wasn't a nice strip club? And I use this term very, very liberally.
Everyone is in sweatpants.
Every time there was a guy in shorts in there, that happened.
Yeah, Hextall jersey and shorts, your money.
Every time I've ever gone to a strip club, somebody in my friend group, quote, falls in love. Are they going home with anybody? No. Are they leaving their wives? No. But usually there's somebody that you just are like, you wake up the next day thinking about. There was not a single girl there not a single one that I was like, oh, she was really good. Not a single one, dude.
Perfection. I said you should have told all of them you are Mike Lieberthal. You're the old Jewish catcher from the Phillies. You're not.
These girls were 17, 18 years old.
That's why it would be impressive. Who's that? Oh, I used to catch for your Phillies.
I could have been JT Real Mewtwo. They wouldn't know who I was.
No, please.
But we had our own little back room. It was cute. It was whatever. But as far as the money goes, man, I had to do the hourly rate because I realized, by the way, the music was trash. It was absolutely horrible. No Pour Some Sugar on Me.
If they're not going to play rap, like Round and Round, like what are we doing here?
Right.
If they're not going to play only 80s hair bands.
But only 90s, Joel. But of course, these girls, it's $20 a lap dance. Every song is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. To the point that I was like, wait a minute, that's how they do it. If you write a rap song and it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds, it's strip club music because that's how long a dance is. And the hourly rate for these women ends up being about...
You get 3 songs.
What? You get one song.
That's overpriced.
One song.
One song is a $10 place. 20 to 30s, you get three songs. And the problem for me is if you get the girl mid-song, you got to kill time before the song's over. Oh, I'm from Iowa. I'm paying my way through vet school. I just want to save sick doggies. And great. Are we going to do this thing or what's happening here?
All I'm saying is it's a $300 an hour job. So if you can get it, good on you.
I guess.
The weird part got later in the night.
Where do you buy that little shipper purse? Is there a place that just sells those? They all have that little purse where they put the money into.
Amazon.
Amazon? Just like type in stripper pocketbook and they come up?
I'll send one to you for Chris.
Hanukkah. Outstanding. I can't wait. With $300 in it too. I want to smell like stripper. That same cologne or scent to the place. Anyway, oh, he's frozen again. This guy. And by the way, for all you people watching this thing, you call that a mustache? You look exactly the same as you did last week. I think it actually regressed a little. I think it went in. It looks no different than last week. I shaved like 2 days ago. I've got more of a stash than you do. It's pathetic.
I'll make it look pretty for you next week, baby. Don't worry.
It doesn't look pretty at all. I was expecting you to look like Rod Beck.
So we leave our VIP area. We go to this other area. And now it's the main.
The cliffhanger is terrible.
Shit.
Dead air. What?
So I want to watch this UFC card like nobody's business. And every time something's happening, you get a girl start to walk in front of me, and then they stop, and I shoot her. I went like this. They don't like that.
Oh, they said shoot.
Shoot. I went like that. And then she just get daggers. So I was like, okay, here's $1. Yeah. Like, what do you want for me to do? Speaking of
dollars, you gave her $1 to move.
They would come over and they say, "Can I have $1 for what I do?" I was like, "Here you go."
Can I have $1? I'll get out of your view. That's brilliant.
On the walk there with my buddy, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who would give a homeless person money. But on the walk to the bar, he gives a homeless guy $1. And I just looked at him. He goes, good karma. And I said, okay, whatever.
You're about to meet a girl named Good Karma in 2 minutes.
On the main stage.
Yeah, always. She got the moves.
So I was watching UFC basically, most of the night. A bunch of the group go to the casino. I don't see any of them until the next morning. I wake up, and my buddy turns to me. I said, "How the casino goes?" He goes, "Oh, the 5 that came with me," he goes, "they took their money like they stole something from the casino, meaning they all lost." I turned and I said, "How'd you do?" He flips a light on, takes out a handful of hundreds. He goes, "Couldn't lose. Couldn't lose. Wow. $1,900. I went, "Good thing you gave that homeless guy $1." And he goes, "Oh, I forgot all about that."
Did he go back and get his buck back?
No, he said the final hand did like 400 down, and he lost it. That was a big hit.
That's a good hit. Next time I go to the casino, I'm giving a homeless guy $1.
You know what my one realization of this weekend was? I need more black friends.
Go on.
It's not that I don't like black people. I don't think they like me.
White people don't like you either.
Look, they like pit bulls. I like pit bull. Not the same thing.
I wouldn't open with that. So
it was just the whitest group ever, and I was just sitting there thinking because later
the rest of them at a Travis Scott concert.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Not as many as you,
but it's a couple less. But as far we end up late night in Chinatown, me and my other buddy, and there is a table of diverse people. I had so much more fun with them than I did with anybody else that night.
A Chinese restaurant full of black people is great. It's all chicken wings, fried rice, and Newports. It's just. That's what's on the menu.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
So, I know you have trivia. Can we do the Pishadu first?
Yeah, sure. It's a Travis Scott.
All right. So, let's go with 3 that I...
for your little Nicorette thing on your neck.
Would you call me a?
Exactly.
So, a couple of things. Oh,
open with that. That's better than the other one.
While we're there, heard this on a podcast. A new Colin Kaepernick documentary came out, and a comedian calls him Throws a Parks. I lost it.
That's not bad.
I thought that was really funny. Anyway,
the funny thing I heard was on Succession. One of the guys called somebody Wokahontas. That was excellent.
That's pretty good. Pishadu of the week. So here's a couple of candidates before we get to the 2 favorites. First one, Carlos Correa. Okay, $180 million for 5 years, and people are acting like this was the worst offer in the history of sports. $32 million a year. He's an asshole.
Why is he an asshole? Because he's not worth it?
No, people think he's worth a bigger deal for longer, and we're talking about $180 million.
This is a guy who's had 3 good seasons. He has a good season every other year.
Yeah.
He is worth whatever someone's willing to give him, because I think that...
This was the offer, and people are acting like it is the worst thing in history.
I am happy that anyone's offering him anything, because that means the Mets aren't. Because I want no part of this guy.
You can't.
I know. We already have that schmuck Lindor and his Chuckles friend over there, Baez. Both hit 230 together. Combined, maybe. Assholes, the both of them. But I'm just saying, in general, I want no part of those kind of guys who they're erratic. I want consistency. Look at Altuve. Guy's consistent every goddamn year. He's worth whatever he's getting.
It'll fall off eventually with him, and that's when you don't want to hold the bag.
Yeah, his little speckle will fall off. But for a career, he's been very consistent. Correa is not consistent at all.
Candidate number 2, Georgia judge has officially banned elves on the shelf down in his town, county, whatever it was, because if the elf doesn't move by the parents, apparently it makes the kids bad, mean, whatever it is. Then they go to school, and it's created this whole domino effect, and some judge is like, fuck it, no elf on the shelf this year.
Good for him. They're stupid anyway.
Mention on the bench?
He's good. In fact, I mentioned the bench. I like old school justice. You guys don't want it? I'm banning it from all of you.
Who's the Pishadu in this situation? Did you hear about the Bezos Leo thing that happened?
No.
So Bezos has
DiCaprio?
Yeah, so Bezos has this new piece she's actually relatively older. I think Bezos is like 51, she's 50.
He got rid of Tony Gonzalez's girlfriend?
It could be the same one. I have no idea.
The Spanish girl.
Maybe. They're at an event, and Leo starts talking to her, and it was like Mr. Steal Your Girl. Her eyes and everything about this. Bezos is the richest man in the world. Is just sitting there just looking into nothing as he's watching somebody steal his girlfriend away from him. And then, of course, people start tweeting about it. So then Bezos tweeted out something where he said, "Hey, at Leonardo DiCaprio." And it was him standing next to a sign that said, "Careful, danger, fall off cliff," or something. I mean, it was one of those like, wow.
Really?
It was really weird.
He's going to cancel Leo's Amazon account? It'd be horrible.
He can't watch Amazon Prime. No
Nothing,
The Boys for him.
nothing. He can't order anything from Amazon. He's just screwed.
But who's the piece to do? Leo, Bezos, all of them? The chick?
Bezos for going after Tony Gonzalez's ex-girlfriend or wife.
You're
I mean,
hooked on that. You're
I am. They modeled that spaceship after Tony Gonzalez's hog. I mean, forget about it's size,
anatomically
the
correct.
scale, right? None of them. I mean, I love a good cat fight between two rich guys.
All right.
Let them go at it.
The main two candidates, number 4 and 5. A-Raj or Travis Scott?
A-Raj, because I don't know what hand Travis Scott had in this situation, though he did incite the crowd.
And stood there and watched the people being carried dead. There's all the videos.
Was awful. Yeah,
it was terrible.
Awful.
Most people listening to this know, or at least when this episode comes out, that there was, I think it was like 11 deaths at this Travis Scott concert.
8, I think.
It's been up to 11.
Is it now?
And essentially, there's videos him standing and dancing and singing and just looking down at people. I mean, you would have thought this person was crowd surfing, except it was the EMTs taking his lifeless body away.
No, he's the worst person ever. But
and
as
then,
far as being like
A-Raj, everybody
he's like
knows.
A schmucky guy. Like, I think it's A-Raj because by the definition of like what a piece should do, it's him. Travis Scott is just like a felon up there. He's or aiding and abetting. Like, he's awful. But A-Raj, he's just like leaning into it. He's so smarmy. He's such a piece of shit. And he gets his medical advice from Joe Rogan, who, by the way, if you're listening, I'll take medical advice from you. Get us going. Have us on the show.
As a big Rogan guy, and I watched the whole Aaron Rodgers things, I got into a pretty lengthy debate with some of my friends, and I'm being called an anti-vaxxer at this point, but a lot of what Aaron Rodgers said was correct. The problem is, it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. It's the I am immunized, like bullshit.
Awful.
Do you know who the real people, the real asshole was the NFL? Because they knew about this. And if this was some punt returner, wouldn't even be a story. But Aaron Rodgers, MVP.
If he's a tennis player, that's fine because you're standing on a court alone. He's in a huddle with 10 other guys at point blank range.
They're tested that day.
Yeah, and he's positive. So the last week that he was in practice, he's giving it to all these guys.
So Aaron Rodgers possibly killed somebody, but Travis Scott essentially kind of incited 11 people to die. I go Travis Scott because if you're performing, if Booze Your Daddy is on stage and we're mid whatever and something happened, you wouldn't be like time out right there. What's going on? Like Dave Grohl did that the other night at a Foo Fighters thing. He was like, stop. That person is not okay.
We should be so lucky to have the crowd he had.
A quarter of it.
But yeah, he's the biggest asshole of all time. But
Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. I mean, I think he's completely self-centered asshole.
Because he keeps going with it. He's out there publicly defending himself and making himself worse. I haven't heard a word yet from Travis Scott. So yes, well, he's awful. He's not necessarily the piece of do of the week because he's not out there like, he's not like championing what he did. Rodgers is happily championing himself. He's a prick.
He is. I agree with you.
He's an ass.
All right, Zachy, you got trivia this week.
I sort of have trivia.
Sort of? You can't be a little pregnant.
Well, exactly. And that's what I thought too. However, I thought you'd have a much, much bigger and more impressive mustache by now. And you don't. So I'm not thrilled with my trivia.
Are you doing mustache trivia? Because it's already been done. It's already been done.
By who?
I did it with an episode. It was Betty. I think it was like episode 35.
Really? Then you should know all of these. Because you must know everything about mustaches, huh? I had no idea. The earliest traced usage of the mustache can be traced back to A, the Iron Age, B, the Bronze Age, or C, the Dark Ages.
I have no idea what the Iron Age is, so I'll just go with Dark Ages.
Not even close. It is the Iron Age. The Celts or Celts at 800 to 400 BC wore mustaches. They were the first to have it. A long, downward pointing ended mustache, generally beyond the chin, is called what?
A Fu Manchu?
Is correct.
Woo! Question the second.
The longest mustache measured in recorded history belongs to Ram Singh Chauhan of India. It was measured on the set of the Low Show Day Record in Rome, Italy. Plus or minus 3 feet. 3 feet. How long is the mustache?
12 feet.
14.1 feet. You're
He shoots,
in the
he
kill zone.
scores!
And by the way, I changed it this morning from 2 feet to 3 feet, and 2 feet you wouldn't have gotten because it's 14.1 feet. So you shoot and score. All right, 2 out of 3 so far. In 1972, when neither of us were born.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue?
Pretty much. The Mustache Gang defeated the Cincinnati Reds to capture the World Series. What team was the Mustache Gang?
In 72? Tigers.
Ron Katz? It was the Oakland A's. I didn't know that, but I love the name the Mustache Gang as a team.
That is pretty good.
Number 5, often referred to as the toothbrush mustache. Name 3 famous people to wear this choice publicly.
Jordan and Hitler.
Name a third.
I have no idea.
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Jordan and Hitler with 2 big ones.
The Haynes commercial. That's what I wanted. I was waiting for The Last Dance to cover that. It was like, what happened to your stash that day?
He's just on an airplane with a Hitler mustache. Ridiculous.
So bad.
All right, 2.5 out of 5. Not bad for Mustache Trivia.
You said name 2 out of 3.
Did I say 2 out of 3? I said name 3.
Roll back the tape.
3 famous people to wear it. And you got Jordan and Hitler. You missed Charlie Chaplin. Ron Katz got the 2 toughies there. He got the A's and the Chaplin.
Before we sign off, Zach, I heard 2 interesting things I wanted to catch you up on. I was giving one of my buddies shit.
That is not a mustache. That thing is ridiculous. I was thinking John Holmes.
You want me to stand up and show you?
I would love to see you stand up and show me.
I'm giving my buddy crap this past weekend for being from Connecticut. I was like, I went up to Stamford a couple weekends ago. Did you know that your boy Bobby Valentine is running for mayor up there?
Yeah, I don't think he won. He lost.
Oh, but my buddy quickly comes back with, did you know that he invented the wrap?
The what?
I went, the wrap? He goes, like the sandwich thing? Google it. Bobby Valentine.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Did he really?
This was one of those, I was like, you're making this up. And he goes, Google it. And I did. I was like, oh, you don't say.
Yeah, he was the first one. He was the first white guy to have a burrito, essentially, because that's what a wrap is.
With meat and, all the schmutz on it. Absolutely.
I hope he's making a killing on it. But those sandwich places don't pay. My cousin, whose sister is a congresswoman, invented the $5 footlong in Florida for Subway. He owned a few of them. They paid him nothing for it. No extra for the...
they've been proven they're not feet. It's like 10 inches.
Well, it depends where you measure from. But I'll look into Bobby Valentine. Good for him.
And lastly, AMC reported yesterday, had a pretty rough day in the market today. But fan suggestions, they're now making their own brand of popcorn, which will be in stores where they're doing Willy Wonka style tickets. In boxes, golden ticket to the movies if you buy the popcorn.
When is this stock hitting 1,000? That's the problem with millennials. They lost their steam. They got no conviction anymore. They don't have it. Here.
Nothing for the Willy Wonka? You don't think that's kind of cool?
I mean, I hope I win. I hope I get to meet Augustus Gloop. Because my friends have been calling me Veruca Salt for years.
You're turning violet, Violet.
I should be so lucky, but no, I'm the one who has a tantrum. But I'm transitioning slowly from Veruca to Veruca's father. Okay, Wonka, name your price. Because I got a little Veruca in there, too, who's an absolute, diva. They're not for sale. No, what's your price, Wonka? Let's go. Whatever she wants, she gets from me, Zoe. It's not good.
Boo's Your Daddy, the podcast. Thanks for listening. We had another fun episode. We're going to keep doing this. We need to do another audience participation thing. So why don't we brainstorm with that? We'll come up with something for the following episode. I had fun. Thanks, everybody.
Tonight, yeah.
Great chip. Love it. Daddy out.
I love that last one we ended with Zoltan.
Oh, A-S.
A-S.